G'day guys and girls, on today's vlog we're going to find out if affordable filters are worth it for your landscape photography when you're just starting out as a beginner photographer. Let's get right into it and roll that intro. Good morning you Blade legends on a very fresh and cold morning here in South Australia. But we're about to go and photograph what looks like a very beautiful and picturesque sunrise, photographing a mythical beast this morning. But I want to take you through how good or bad this K&F Concept kit filter system is, and is it any good for any budget photographer? I'm pretty cold right now, so I want to get going to see if we can photograph this beautiful, mythical beast of a Loch Ness monster. Let's go. It's still surviving. It's what I had to do. I was in too much of a rush and the backpack on my back was just annoying me. But this is a competition that I have settled on. I've gone with a sort of Godzilla versus Loch Ness monster theme here. In the foreground, I've got sort of this one bigger sort of palm of the paw and two sort of claws. I know Loch Ness is a sea urchin monster, but I wanted a foreground element and I thought a monster theme would be really cool. So monster with the Loch Ness in the background. I'm just waiting for those ripples to slowly die down to give me that mirror reflection as the sun is getting more ambient right now as it will be. There is one thing I'd love to add about this filter, but that's okay. But what I've gone through and done is put the filter extension on the front with the filter. One little thing I noticed this morning, maybe because my hands were a little bit cold, is the filter trying to get in the actual slot was a little bit hard. And I'm very much one to set my composition up first, then put the filters on the front. And I noticed when I'd done that, it moved my composition just the fraction. But when you're shooting at 10mm, focusing on something probably 45 centimeters away, that's crucial. So that was a little bit of an engineering problem out of a cheaper filter that I did notice first up. So I've gone through, I'm going to try and capture single exposures so we can compare the filter versus non-filter setup. So the first one I went through and done this morning was a polarizer with just that filter, no filter, and now this image right now, focusing on the foreground and Loch Ness in the background. But I am shooting an f11 because that is giving me a bigger depth of field. So I don't want Loch Ness to be super sharp, but I am capturing those images out in the field while we are here. So I'm going to wait around now to see if this light gets any better. Just keep rolling on. I just want to keep using this filter to see what I think out of these cheap filters and are they worth it. So this is a perfect example. Foreground is really dark, the sky is coming out. I'm going to take one single exposure without any filters. Then I can just simply go and grab out of my pocket an already pre-made K&F filter and just with this tab on the side, simple as that, plug it on. Now I've got a very even top to bottom. I can just adjust this as need. Another single exposure with a filter. So we're going to go home, compare what the color cast has given me, how it's interacting with the foreground compared to the background, that blend that we want. But there's one major gripe that I would have loved to have this morning but just haven't got. I'll tell you all about that after. Here's this beautiful image. Rightio, ladies and gentlemen, there you have that photo, and I want to give you my final verdict on the K&F Concept filter kit. I'm going to start with the positives. I'm a pretty bloody positive lad. The first thing is, and probably most importantly to some people, is the price. Coming in around $200, is on special right now as I'm recording for about 185 Australian dollars. That is very attractive, especially when you compare it to one of the KnF filters that I have, the light pollution filter. That comes in at over $280 alone. So the price is very, very attractive. The second thing is the step-up rings. I used to own Format High-Tech and now KnF. The step-up rings are about 25 bucks a pop. And I need about about 4 of them. So I'm looking at 100 bucks for the step-up rings, where this gives you everything from 52 mil all the way up. So that is a very good incentive for that. The second thing is the build quality. It's not perfect, but it's good enough for comparing it to other cheaper filters out there. So that is one thing that is a positive, but can be more beneficial, but that is going to come with the higher price tag. The second thing is the build construction of the filter. I love how you can just slide it out and grab it, especially this morning when it was so bloody cold. You can just slide it out and grab the filter. I wish, and I hope you are listening out, KnF, I wish more filter systems done that. Is a very good feature. Moving on to the negative side of things, there's probably only 2 negatives, and one is the build quality. I feel like the build quality could be a little bit better as far as sliding those filters in. It's just one little detail as far as those plastic grommets to slide it in. I did have trouble this morning trying to slide that in. Maybe it's because it was cold, but it was very, very tight in there. The second thing is, I would love an attachment for a polarizer. I'd be happy to pay $250 for this if it come with a polarizer. For me, especially this morning's image, a polarizer is an essential part with getting rid of that glare in the foreground, going through that water and giving that beautiful image that we could have captured if we had a polarizer. I shoot the polarizer about 75% of the time in my landscape nature photography. So for me, that is quite a big downfall about this. There's no even attachment to do it where you can get it for the KnF system and many other systems out there. So they are 2 negatives. They're not huge negatives because they can be workaround, but that polarizer is something that you might want to look at before getting it. Would I recommend this to budget photographers and beginner photographers? 100%. This is the second time I've went out and used this system, and I'm very, very impressed. The quality, which is probably most importantly behind the price of it, is outstanding. I can officially say it is outstanding. It is on par, if not better, with the Freewell system that I use also. So I can highly recommend this KnF system for those beginner and budget photographers. Like I said, to buy that in the KnF system, this has cost me almost $1,000 to get this. This system alone, which is basically just this packaging, is about $450. So there you go to see what you get when you get the quality. And for me, is it worth the additional price? That's really only for you to decide. For me, I don't know. I can't honestly say if I know. It's a lot of money to get the filter systems. Guys, that is me done for today. Photographing the Loch Ness Monster here in Lochiel in South Australia. I'll see you guys on the next one, but make sure to get out there, keep creating, keep inspiring, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.